Hi, I'm Caroline Ulrich.
And I'm Tisha Bam.
We're your hosts for this month's edition of Hempfield Happenings.
This month, we will be exploring our title-earning boys tennis team,
a student's entrance into the world of entrepreneurship,
and the exit and replacement of a Hempfield tradition.
That and so much more on this month's episode. Make sure to stay tuned.
I can turn around and sell that $1,000 shoe for $3,500 and stuff like that. So,
reselling clothes and shoes is a growing industry amongst high school students. But what exactly is the resale market?
Retail is how much the clothing was going to go off the drop or how much the brand is going to be selling it for. So with Supreme as an example, they sell their t-shirts normally for $44. Now, because it's such a high sellout time, because there's so many people who want to get them, and there's so many people who want this piece because how hyped it is or how limited it is, it sells out quite fast, so like a few seconds. So after you get the item, depending on how hyped it was or how limited it was on different selling sites, the best one being Grail, people will sell it there. And because of how much people want it, it's going to go up in price because there's that much less of it for how many people want it. So so you can sell that $44 t-shirt for $150.
Justin Ashby is a Lancaster native that has turned his passion for sneakers into a career. He explains why certain pieces can sell for such a high price tag.
it's supply and demand. Anything in this world that has a demand, usually there's a supply. Either it meets or it doesn't meet. So when they're releasing these sneakers, now, I mean, there's some restocks here and there, but a lot of times when they release the sneakers, they come out once and then that's it. So once that shoe sells out, like, you have no choice but to buy it on the aftermarket.
Reselling is a growing industry amongst high school students. But what can these young entrepreneurs learn from this hobby?
It's a good way to learn business. It's a good way to make money legally. It's dominated now by the younger generation, by the high school kids that are going to buy and sell and trade. So tying a lot of math to it, a lot of business, and it's just, like I said, it's overall good. It's a good hobby. It's a good thing to invest your money in.
I mean, if you can take a $44 t-shirt and sell it to someone for like $200, you just made a huge profit. So I think it's a great business strategy, especially now with it more blowing up, so there's more kids trying it, and I think it's a great way to get into making money at an age where you most likely only making minimum wage at a job.
Through reselling, students can learn many business and math-related skills. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Luke Dreyer.
The Hempfield boys tennis team has certainly caused a racket this year by winning the FBLA League title. Not only once, but for the fourth time in a row. Molly Hooley visited the boys and saw firsthand what goes into their success. This season, the Hempfield boys tennis team has won the Lancaster-Lebanon League title. While this is exciting for the boys, they are no strangers to success.
This was our fourth consecutive win for the league championship. It felt amazing.
One of the many upsides to their constant success is the unique opportunity to continue a legacy.
It's my freshman year. I sat on the bench watching the other guys win it, and then I progressed and I got to be able to be the guy to play. That feels great.
This is my fourth year. It was excellent seeing it happen again. So I'm very grateful I was on this team.
So what exactly is their secret to success? Team members say working hard and supporting each other has benefited them greatly.
So during the off season, we all play at least 3 or 4 times a week. So I think that's the reason that we come back each year stronger than before.
I think we all work really well together. Our doubles teams work together. We support each other. We cheer for each other no matter what.
Strong leadership has also contributed to their many wins.
Throughout my years, in the past, I know we've had a lot of coaches come out. They help us, they do drills with us, they help with volleying. They help out a lot with footwork and all of that.
Coach Bell has been with the boys for all 4 of their LL League wins.
It's really fun to watch them progress and see where they were as a freshman and then where they get as a senior. A lot of them put a lot of work into the off season, so they're able to really make a lot of gains throughout their tennis careers.
This team goes to show how consistently putting in hard work, being dedicated, and just having fun can result in major success. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Molly Hooley.
Pep rallies are a common event held in high schools all around the country. However, Hempfield has decided to try something new. What this change was and how this whole new shebang came to be are some of the questions Dana Greener addresses on the first Hempfield UKnight Fest. Hempfield High School, home of the Black Knights, has turned away from the usual pep rallies and is pioneering a new way to boost school spirit.
The Hempfield UKnight Fest replaced the second pep rally of the year. Even if they loved it or hated it, everyone in the school has something to say about the spring shebang.
It's like your traditional high school pep rally, the one that you always see in movies, and so it's a vivid part of the high school experience. I think that the fall fling and the spring shebang are definitely traditional parts of Hempfield society.
My favorite thing about the shebang was we were able to call special attention to certain groups and try to promote certain clubs and organizations and activities that were going on.
The guidance counselors and student affairs committee, with the help of a survey completed by students and teachers, decided to try out what is essentially an hour-long recess.
There wasn't as many people involved in the event. So we wanted to change it to kind of meet more needs in our school.
Hempfield UKnights is meant to be a school-wide kind of community building event and also meant to give everybody a little bit of a break. This time of year can be particularly stressful for students and staff.
The other reason that we wanted to change it was we wanted more people involved.
Just as the guidance counselors and student affairs committee had hoped, their festival proved itself popular among the students.
Hempfield UKnights this year seems to be an overall success versus the shebangs and the pep rallies that we've done before. All the students are engaged, everyone's having a chance to do the things that they want to do, and everyone's really making the most of it.
I really enjoyed this festival and everything like that. It's really fun, food's amazing, and it's been nice just kind of come hang out on a beautiful day.
I really enjoy it, and I think it's a nice twist, and we have all these different countries here. So I think each part of the school gets to share its own identity.
With time comes change, and Hempfield decided it's time to shake things up a bit. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Dana Greener.
Future Business Leaders of America, better known as FBLA, is an active club here at the high school. Recently, they competed in a competition with 7 moving on to nationals. Austin Groff leads us into discussion with these students about this special opportunity.
Every year, members of the FBLA Club compete in state and national competitions. This year, 7 students from Hempfield High School made it to nationals. The students are Ben Marinez for Intro to Business Procedures, Noah Bennett, Ryan Zhang, Adam Tak as a team for Management Information Systems, and finally, Zach Wilson, Gavin Hansman, and Evan Weaver for Hospitality Management. The first step to getting to the national level is to select a topic and compete in regionals.
Our club, we have about 60 members in our club. They take tests to advance to the state and national level. There's a wide variety of topics on any business topic you can think of. You talk about insurance, risk management, investing. And as a student, what you do is you choose what you feel your best fit is. And you have the most expertise and knowledge, and you take a test, either a written test or a performance test, and you're evaluated on that, either on your score, your written test, or an evaluation from judges, and then you earn the right to advance.
I mean, you get an opportunity to take some decent pressure and actually compete in a rather high pressure environment with something online. But what's nice is it's not an academic grade that's on the line, it's not actual money that's on the line. I mean, this is just an opportunity to push yourself to see if you can handle the stressors that are out there. And some people really thrive on the competition. And that gives you a little bit of a taste for what the real world's going to be like. I'm just proud of the students. These guys have really worked hard, and especially the 4 officers we've had this year with Zach and Evan and Gavin and Delaney Laux. They've done an exemplary job of running a club as a bunch of students for students. And I think that's been the best part, is the focus is on the students.
Members of the club had great experiences at the competition.
It's been awesome. It's actually the largest student-run organization in the world, and at Nationals, the privilege of going to that, you really get to see tens of thousands of kids all doing the same general thing that you're doing, and it's really awesome just from a business perspective.
I think it's great because not only do we get a lot of experience with public speaking and problem solving, but we also get a lot of connections in the business world for future internships, jobs.
Congratulations and good luck to the students who made it to Nationals, which will be held this summer in Baltimore. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Austin Groft.
Lawn mowing, a sunny day activity turned entrepreneurial business. Lauren Daigle follows a student here at Hempfield on how he is mowing his path to success.
Here at Hempfield High School, a student named Andrew Jordan has become a young entrepreneur by creating his own lawn mowing business to help him with future endeavors.
Just a few years ago, Andrew started up his business called Andrew's Lawn Care with a simple act of kindness.
7th grade, I had a lady across the street from me, broken arm, and I was out just playing basketball. So I went over and helped her out because she was kind of struggling. And next thing I knew, she was walking all over the neighborhood, and she was telling people that I could help them. And then people started calling me, and now I'm mowing 31.
With the large amount of customers, mowing becomes a huge time consumer for Andrew during the spring and summer seasons.
I pretty much during the spring, pretty much right after school till 8 or 9 whenever it gets dark. Just about every day and all day Saturday unless it's raining.
From his service ranging from $25 to $55, Andrew continues to expand his business, which is providing him with a steady income.
This year I'm looking hopefully 25 to 30,000 profit. Last year it was about 23,000, I think it was.
Andrew makes sure to keep organized to stay on track with the lawns he needs to mow on a regular basis.
How I kind of figure out what I'm going to do is I have a big spreadsheet that I keep track of everything I do. So I know I kind of write it down on that, and then I can just go back to the top once I cycle through everything. But I do have some that like now need done every 4 or 5 days, and some that can go a week or a week and a half. So I kind of have to account for that too.
Typically the way we have it arranged is he comes whenever I need him, whenever I feel like it's getting a little high, or if he happens to be driving by, he'll send me a text and just say, hey, I see your lawn's getting a little bit high, do you want me to come over and mow?
The business Andrew runs now is a great way to explore possible career options for the future.
I really like business, so and maybe finance, maybe accounting are the two I'm kind of looking at right now, and maybe at Messiah College, hopefully, but probably finance if I had to pick right now.
Andrew has had to overcome a few challenges along the way, including his allergy to grass.
Big one was equipment. I had a push mower for the first couple years, and then I think I was doing 10. And it was, with the push mower, it was kind of tough. So then I got a little riding mower, and that worked a little bit better. And then once I got up to like 20, 25, then I needed something bigger, so I got this guy here.
Andrew has used his money for expenses such as gas and even purchasing his own truck and equipment to continue the business.
My truck was about $5,000, and this was $3,500, I believe it was. So those are my biggest expenses. I'll probably put probably $1,000 to $2,000 worth of gas back in, and weed killer, stuff like that, back in through just random maintenance. And I dump all my grass over at Donald Stoner's farm, and that's $10 a time, and it's pretty much every day, every other day.
His business is a great way to help out community members, teachers, and friends.
It definitely benefits me to have somebody else take care of that, because I don't think people realize, unless they're actually the ones mowing, that it's not just the mowing of the lawn, but then you're dirty, you got to shower after that, you got to change your clothes, you got to wash those clothes. So there's a lot that goes into it. And plus, if your lawnmower's not working properly, then you got to fix the lawnmower. So Andrew provides a nice service for a reasonable amount of money, and it's really something that frees up some time for me to be with the family.
Andrew's key qualities of hard work and dedication to his business does not go unnoticed. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Lauren Daigle.
The National German Exam is an annual test administered to enrolled German students at Hempfield. Because of this exam, one lucky student, Jack Thomas, has won a trip to Germany. Emily McAlpine traveled around to learn about this achievement.
Das Buch der Kinder. Wie sagt man?
A sophomore at Hempfield High School recently was awarded a free trip to Germany through the AATG exam.
The program is called the American Association of Teachers of German,
and they host a trip to Germany every year based off of results of the National German exam. It is offered to students all over the nation, and I think this year around 12,000 students took it. And if a student scores within the top 10%, they are offered an opportunity to interview for a free trip to Germany as part of this program.
Jack Thomas is a student who is very passionate about the German language and always eager to learn more.
I've heard from many different people that like the German program is like very strong, and you know, like it'll provide you with a like quality German instruction.
Sehr gut, Jack is incredibly dedicated. Whenever I see Jack in the hallway, even though he's no longer my student, he still speaks to me in German. I helped him fill out a few forms, and it was all in German, and he's very, very dedicated. I just remember him being in class. He would write super creative sentences and always push himself to go above and beyond the requirements.
Wie sagt man the pencil of the little girl?
The AATG competition involves a long process starting with exams, then moving on to interviews at the state and eventually national levels.
I was informed about like the AATG national exam, so I decided that it might be a good opportunity since it was only like $6, and it was worth it even if I didn't get to go, because it's still good. It looks good on your resume if you did well enough.
Jack decided to take the exam, not knowing that he would eventually win the grand prize, a free trip to Germany.
I've always kind of felt like I grasped German pretty well. I've always had like some sort of like pretty good recall with it, but I never really thought it was going to be adequate enough to set me apart from, to even get me in the top 10% of like the test takers. And from there, I was, fortunately given the opportunity for an interview to move on to as like the chapter nominee.
Jack is looking forward to his trip to Germany and is excited to practice all he has learned about the language. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Emily McAlpine.
Hempfield has been incorporating technology into classrooms for everyday use. From the new iPads, teachers are utilizing the internet as an educational resource and discovering new ways of teaching. Andrew Schaffler keeps us connected with the district's innovations.
Almost everyone at Hempfield uses the internet, but not many people know how much work really goes into keeping it running.
After adding almost 7,000 new connections because of the one-to-one program, Mike Graham and his team had to significantly update their network to handle the influx of devices.
For the 5 years probably leading up to one-to-one, we were upgrading connectivity in a lot of different locations. The newer elementary schools that were constructed within the last 5 years, 6 years, were all built with one-to-one in mind. So when the wiring was done in there, the switches were installed, it was really built and designed with the idea that there would be a lot of devices in every single classroom. In the buildings that weren't constructed more recently, we did spend a lot of time upgrading connectivity. The year leading up to the high school coming online with one-to-one, we had pulled, I think, almost 2 miles worth of new fiber just to add additional connectivity in different places to keep everything up and running.
Teachers like Mrs. Wick use the internet in her classroom to thoroughly enhance her teaching.
I, of course, use Schoology, and I use Sapphire as to the programs that are central to instruction in our school. But I use the internet a lot of times to flesh out my lessons, to add extra background and extra moments of interest. For example, right now we're studying the Lake District poets. So because we're doing that, I was able to show students some pictures of Dove Cottage where Wordsworth lived so that they could better understand the environment that he was living in when he was writing his poetry.
In the time Mrs. Wick has been at Hempfield, technology has certainly come a long way.
When I first got here, you had to have somebody call in from the office, from the overhead system, as opposed to having a phone in your classroom. None of us had computers on our desks. We had 2 photocopiers in the building, and we did not have any of the Apple TVs, we didn't have any of the screens. If I wanted to project something or show a video, we actually used to have television carts that you would have to go and pick up the television and roll that down to your classroom and then be able to show students things with that, and that was fine. But now I think about how small those old television sets were, and the experience wasn't as immediate or as big for students as it is now.
Hempfield students and personnel utilize the school network in many ways, and the list of its applications in the classroom is only growing. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Andrew Schaffler.
For nearly a year, third graders from East Petersburg Elementary School have been participating in a poster making contest. These posters focus on topical issues. This year's theme was about respecting oneself by being safe on the internet. Danielle Leachy keeps us posted about this important activity.
If I make a mistake, so we draw a light until we get it. Light? And then right. It's pretty.
Students from East Petersburg Elementary channeled their artistic ability into awareness by entering a county-wide poster contest that resulted in first, second, and third place winners from Hempfield.
So a few months ago, I received an email from Lancaster County case from the district attorney's office, and they presented me with a poster contest opportunity. I thought it might be nice to try it with the third grade students, and the poster contest was about internet safety, and it was titled Respect Yourself. And of course it has some guidelines, like it had to have the words respect yourself on their poster, and they couldn't plagiarize, they couldn't use images from the internet, it had to be all their own original ideas.
I like art and I wanted to be involved because it's like my thing, it's one of my passions, and when I went home I was like, I couldn't stop myself. I just got out all my art stuff and looked through all of it, and then I started making improvements. I was really excited. I was really hoping I would get for places. I don't really know. I didn't really care which place. I just really wanted to get a place. I was surprised because I didn't really like my poster. The theme was respecting yourself and being safe on the internet.
A poster contest held for elementary students goes a long way by showcasing creativity and key issues regarding the internet.
So I had the art department at the high school judge the posters, and they picked out their favorites, and we narrowed it down to about 15. Then I sent those 15 posters to the district attorney's office. They looked at all the posters from all around Lancaster County, and they judged them, 3rd through 5th grade. 3rd graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders in Lancaster County. My students were the youngest in the category, being in 3rd grade. And then a couple weeks later, I got an email that said that we won 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place in the category, which was really exciting, being that they're the youngest, and also to win all 3 places. So my students were super excited about that.
Congratulations to all the winners and the honorable mentions. Students throughout the county now have a perspective on internet safety and will keep their eyes peeled for when they use it in the future. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Danielle Leachy.
Jason Hopper, a senior at the high school, designed a pen that was produced by TE Connectivity. However, this isn't the first time a tech ed student has been recognized for their work. Luke Dreyer draws us a picture of Hopper's work.
Mr. Johnson's teaching career is coming to an end, but that didn't stop him from writing up one more project.
Well, the idea for the project was generated by a new class I was teaching this year called Fabrication Technology. And that whole class was motivated by the fact that local industries around the area are really asking for, where are the graduates, where are the skilled people, we need them in our companies. And I've been building relationships with these companies for the last 5 years, and one of the big needs is for machinists and tool and die makers.
Senior Jason Hopper's pen was the design eventually chosen by TE Connectivity to be manufactured. He shares the process he used in designing the perfect pen.
Overall, I'd say it was a pretty simple design. I just wanted to keep it simple so that way it would fit in my hand really well. It's just great to see that everybody's getting it. I mean, it's like something I made, so it's good to see everybody has something I made.
Working with students is hands down just been the most satisfying thing to me. To see a spark ignited in a student that they didn't know anything about what they're going to do in my classes, but at some point in time, the spark became a fire, and they said, I really like this, and they make a career out of it.
Best wishes to Mr. Johnson in his retirement. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Luke Dreyer.
Zoetropolis, a small cinema downtown which shows independent, foreign, and documentary films, has been a great addition to our city. Bailey Rye previewed the theater to understand its unique setting.
Some independent filmmakers will never see their work on the big screen, but a theater in Lancaster City makes small films a big deal.
Lee
is deeply rooted in art.
I love the arts. I love it.
So in 1996, she opened a theater called Zoetropolis.
You know, you just start asking a million questions and do 1,000 things wrong, and we eventually opened the first one, and it was cool. It was great.
The idea came to her after watching small theaters slowly disappear.
As the multiplexes would go in, the little Art Deco, beautiful old theaters would try to keep up. They were, it was kind of sad.
But this theater focused entirely on independent films.
Basically, we're just trying to show these movies, and a lot of them have a really important message.
I love giving local filmmakers an audience, helping them gain some footing, helping people find a way to view their work. It's a great thing.
But this job carries its challenges.
Just struggling to pay rent because we have to pay a decent amount of the ticket sales to the distributors. So we really don't make any money off of the movie tickets.
With the help of a bigger team, investors, hard work, and passion, they push through the difficult times.
I still have never made a dime yet. Not one. I've lost lots of times. But it doesn't matter because when we go in and screen a movie and we're like, ooh, at the end, I love that. So.
On an opening night for someone who hasn't shown their film elsewhere, it's awesome to watch the pride in their face. The joy of that occasion is radiating through them. It's really awesome.
It's moments like these that kept Lee where she is today.
I wanted to be a printmaker. I was in art school and they were like, do you want to build movie theaters? I was like, yeah. I'll do that for a little bit and then I'll go back to, what I really wanted to do. And here I am, still doing this and loving it, so.
And through this love, independent filmmakers can tell their stories.
That's how I fell in love with film, was through that means of storytelling.
And see their artwork on the big screen. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Bailey Rye.
That's all for the 352nd show of Hempfield Happenings.
Stay tuned for next month, where we'll be going behind the scenes of a local film company,
stepping up to the line to learn about the Unified Track Team,
and we'll celebrate the commencement for 2018.
Thank you for watching, and for Hempfield Happenings, I'm Tisha Pham.
And I'm Caroline Ulrich.